Hey. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at a new episode of Get Rich or Die Trying. No, it's the wrong script. At a new episode of Mr. Change training uh, quads, burning them quads, plus a bit of shoulders. I'm gonna do another video where I'm just speaking as a voiceover due to the fact as copyright is killing me. So I'm obviously in the beginning of this YouTube. So I'm still figuring out how to record, how to do certain things without getting copyright. So we start with the first exercise. I started with a leg extension as I'm doing. I start with single leg, and I do usually like 10 to 15 reps on a single leg as a warm up. I do it that way. I start with single leg due to the fact that we tend to have like an imbalance in the legs. So starting with single leg, it kind of like you avoid to let your legs cheating, if it makes sense. Like, you have like a stronger leg, usually the stronger one we're gonna take more load, because the weaker one can't. And doing it just like this way, it's more efficient, especially as a warm-up, to put a bit more blood flow. And I tend to go heavier and heavier with each set. I think my top set, it goes up to like if I'm not wrong, let me think, like 70 pounds. I was over there, 80 pounds, which is all right. It's not my heaviest thing. You can see I'm not even wearing my knee sleeves at the moment, so I don't really go mentally heavy, as it's not really necessary, as I train legs at the moment like 3 to 4 times a week. I know it doesn't look like, but just wait for the summer. You're gonna see. Yeah, as I still have like a bit of an injury issue into my shoulder and elbow, which I'm working on it. It's not like I don't do nothing. I work on it. But that doesn't mean like I'm gonna give up on training, or like I'll not train at all. I'm gonna just work around injury and just train pretty much at the moment, just legs, back, and arms, but not a very big fan of the arms. I'm drinking at the moment. You can see like a very purple liquid, non-healthy from the color. I drink some electrolytes, so I take my creatine with electrolytes as an intra workout, so it kind of like make my workout to last a bit longer, due to the fact that I'm always hydrated to it, like the boost of energy. I'm not saying I don't know if it's right or wrong. This is the way I'm doing it for years. There are people who took it in the end, as a post-workout, the electrolytes. I genuinely enjoy to take more as an intra. If I don't take electrolytes, I usually drink squash. So yeah, I'm a bit of like that guy who doesn't like drink just normal water sometimes. Sometimes I enjoy my squash. I enjoy my squash quite a lot, to be honest. So I know it's not the healthiest option, it's not the best choice, but that's the way I do it. So as I seen, you can see like the struggle. Look at the struggle on my face, like the focus would be even better if I would hold it a bit probably more at the top and squeeze it a bit more, but it's quite good, I enjoy seeing myself working out. That sounds so stupid, so narcissistic, but I see the mistakes what I'm doing, and seeing those mistakes, I know what I'm supposed to improve for next time. So by doing just this way and doing that way, I'm just constantly improving, constantly like adding more things. So I'm still kind of like, I'm not saying I'm young, but I'm young in training wise, so I still have like so much space to improve and so many things to learn about, and doing it and seeing myself, and starting obviously this channel in few years time, I'll probably just became better and better, as I can critique myself and actually, you know, like take it, you know, like seeing exactly every single set, how I train and how I behave, would be definitely much better to slower the reps, which it's very weird because I usually think when I'm doing actually the reps that I'm actually quite slow in them. But now when I'm actually seeing it, you know, I'm actually, oh, well, I'm not actually that slow. It definitely could be much slower, 100%. 100% I can go slower. And if you didn't get bored yet, I tell you what, I'm gonna speak for another 20 minutes easily because guess what? It's not an issue for me speaking, you know. I can just speak, you know, like and critique myself, you know, like till tomorrow, as nobody does it. So if nobody does it, I need to improve in a way, and I found it like this being the best way. Anyway, if you have any tips on how can I avoid that copywriting from the music on the background, would be fantastic. Now I'm gonna do a superset. I'm gonna do leg press with CC squats. So I'm gonna try to do like 15 and 15 and try to go heavier each set, which are basically gonna actually do on the leg press. Doing it this way, it will gonna just put the intensity on the squat. Oh, like that's obvious. That's just so bad. Let's see how I'm doing this one. Okay, this one's a bit better. Yeah, I get better. It's not too bad. The CC squat's probably a bit more lean forward, you know, like leaning a bit more forward. It would gonna be better, but they're not bad. Yeah, they're not bad at all. Always, obviously, definitely place to improvement and to have more mobility, but they do the job. Boom, and straight now into. I'll probably gonna move myself a bit lower. Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. Honestly, this setup on the phone change all the perspective of the video. Yeah, the legs are looking alright. You know, they're not like the biggest, but proportionally to my body, obviously you can't really realize that because I have like a super oversized hoodie. But proportionally to my body, they're right. Yeah, dip level is okay. Into the leg press, same. You know, a bit slower wouldn't be bad. And probably a bit more to. I actually press alright on the heels. I generally tend to focus pressing on the heels more, due to the fact that when we walk on toes more. So pressing it from the heels, it will actually activate more the muscles, as instead of pressing it from the toes. And now back on the CC squats. Come on, champ, you got this. Add a bit more weight. So what I have at the moment, so those plates are 25 kilos each. So I have 50 basically, plus the machine is 50 kilos. So I do have 100 already. So I'm going basically now for 150. I should be capable to do 150 pretty easily. It's not like I can't. Yes, I can. It's just me checking again. To be honest, it's more difficult than it looks, you know, sometimes to record that. You can see I can't really catch my head sometimes, you know. I can't, you know, till you learn all those angles, till you learn exactly how big you are, you know, like, and obviously the zoom of the camera, it's so much, it's so wide in the same time. But I'm learning, you know, like, but those CC squats, they just go wow. Do you know what I found at CC squats? The more you try to lean forward, the much better it is. You know, like, obviously you feel more into the quads, but in the same time, it just train, you know, like, that balance and that mobility very well, like very, very well. and we're going for a second set. I tend to train not less, so remind this, like not less than 3 sets. I never do on anything just 2 sets. I don't know, this is just my thing, like I tend to do like a warm-up set and at least 2 working sets. However, in general, I tend to train 4 sets at least. I do a warm-up, 2 working sets, and a failure sets. But when I superset, I stick just to 3. Or when I do certain exercises like a single leg, because of the amount of volume you do, I stop as well at 3. Exactly. Boom. 25 on the top. See, I try to advise you as well, like when you train, try to keep it as intense as possible. I try to keep it. It obviously depends on the goals, depends what you're training for, but I try to advise everybody, like, don't waste time. Just go over there, go killing it and live. Like, because the more intensity you have, the faster you'll finish. You don't need to spend hours and hours, like endless hours in the gym, and you're gonna be more efficient. Because I see loads of guys, who take like so unnecessary breaks, and they're not really focused on the reps. But just focus on it and just go like boom, 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 one after the other one. Give yourself rest, till you put basically the weights, till you re-rack, till you add something, and just go again. Just don't try, to, as I said, to spend so many hours. Like 1 hour is more than enough. Like 45 minutes to 1 hour, it's more than enough. You don't need to. I used to train as well. Like I remember in the beginning when I started, and when I catch the taste, I used to spend so many hours. Sorry, I'm recording this already at midnight, so I just come back from work. And I used to, as I said, I used to spend so many hours, like sometimes like 3 hours, obviously including like my cardio and everything, like. And I used to literally just stay just in the gym, like sometimes training 3 times a day, like just training. And it probably helped. I didn't say that it didn't help, but in the same time, I don't think it was really that necessary. Like, yeah, you always something to do. You always, you can do something. That's very true. There are parts who are not that sore of the body, what you can still overtrain and train. But in the same time, I generally don't think that how much time you spend is necessary. Like it's mandatory. Over here, I'm just going like a really nice guy, to let know the girl who works over there that someone is waiting at reception. I'm a really, really nice kid. Really nice. If you didn't realize that yet, I advise you to go and see the other videos, because I'm genuinely nice. I actually have a badge about that. I can't believe, I just make those type of compliments to myself, but who cares? Okay, so over here, the only mistakes, I would probably go a bit wider with my knees and to drive the knees more out, but probably this is due to the fact that I don't have like the best mobility into hips to force them down a bit more, and the legs are probably pumped a bit, and I'm trying to probably cheat. I'm trying, my body is actually trying to, because it's not, this is the thing, is like most of the time it is your brain, it's your willpower which is not there to go full on, but the body always trying to cheat. Like always the body gonna try to just cheat. You see, another thing what I see now, I could actually just move that bottle, don't do it like that. And as I said, now I'm going back to leg extensions, straight on it, double leg, max load, 120 pounds, Bosch. You know the way the weight it's moving, you wouldn't even like believe that that's 120 pounds. They can move that easily, so easily. I tend to add even plates on that, so usually I tend to add like either a 25, like a 20 kilo plate, or like two 20 kilo plates. If I have my sleeves, if I don't wear my knee sleeves, I I try to don't go mental with the weight. I don't try to be a bit of a superhero for no reason. Like, um, as I done it in the past, and I injured myself in the past. Like for silly things like that. And as I said, it's not necessary. It's important, like to progress overload, to overload, like your weight gradually, and just to constantly progress. But you can see it's challenging. You can see the way I'm moaning about. You can't hear it, trust me. There are like some very very masculine words and the moans what I have, but it's probably better that you don't hear that. And you see, even if I don't do a superset, I just try to keep it, I don't know, probably around, I would say 30 seconds rest. You'd keep a 30 seconds rest for abs, for something, like where you care just about the burn. When you care about sorry, lifting as well, and it's quite heavy, you want to keep it around 45 seconds. If you do like a very compound exercise, like deadlift or squats or bench press or something, like where you have to move a lot of weight, and it just takes a lot of energy from you. I I recommend to like 1 minute, 1 minute and a half. If it is needed more, take it more, but don't just take the rest to get out of training, because you could end up that you could end up doing this thing, just getting out of that zone. And if you get out from the zone of training, it's even much harder to go back into it. Like you don't want to do that. If you literally just put yourself into that zone and just get out, it's so difficult to go into like that constantly push. Probably over here I was just complaining about it, like about how my legs are hurting, but I think that's the last set of leg extensions. And I don't know what I'm doing after. I think after I'm going straight into shoulders. Yeah, I think after I'm gonna go and do uh, a superset into shoulders. The only shoulder movement I don't really do at the moment, which is probably one of the most important ones, is the overhead press. I can't really press due to the injury, but I still do loads of lateral rises, front rises, so I still train. Look at that. Shameless. Pants off, showing a bit of the quads. Pump is there, definitely. Let's move on. You see, I said I don't do the shoulder press, and I still done some shoulder press. But I don't go as heavy as I used to go. So I feel my max on a shoulder press, it's up to like 100 kilos, and I seated. And no, I can't do nothing like that. Nothing close to that. I think I go around 50, if I'm not wrong, on this exercise. So yeah, I have the bar plus 2 10s, and I'm gonna add probably another like for two more sets, another like 2 5s, and that will probably be it. As it's still pretty uncomfortable. I'll admit it's still pretty uncomfortable, still pretty painful, and I don't think it's worth an injury. I don't. I think the only time you can say that it's worth an injury if you're actually into the show, if you actually compete into something and you are like in the fight, you are in the cage, you're like, yeah, I'm taking this. It's fine. It's worth it. When you actually, like when you do all the preparation and this is like the time when you have to perform. I think in the time when you have to perform, if it's something who does when it's something that doesn't really affect you into like a really really long time, you can take the risk. You can genuinely take the risk and see how it feels like. If 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 it's affecting your future, definitely don't take it. But I mean, everybody's different. I can say certain things, but for every single person, like taking the risk and putting yourself into uncomfortable positions, it's very different. I've seen that on myself. I see that on some of my friends. Like some of my friends, they can go and they have like a more resilient than me. But I have friends who have less, resilient than me. So I think it's just how much you want that. How much you willing to lose, probably. How much you willing to put on. How much you willing, basically, to bet to go into a next level. And obviously what is the sacrifices and if they are worth it. Now to go into shoulder lateral rises, you can see I keep a pretty circle movement. Like I try to keep my arms as straight as possible. Keeping the arms more straight, it will gonna force the isolation to happen more on the lateral deltoid instead of the back one, which is still, obviously the back one is still taking like quite a lot. And now doing the front one as a superset. So I tend to do this superset or even a 3-set where I'm doing back or like rear deltoid. Then after I'm going to the lateral one, and after I go to the front one, when I do like 10 10 10, that, to be honest, it's a pretty killer. Like your shoulders are getting so pumped. And it's kind of like very good as well, like for the grip, because you end up holding that weight for a pretty long time period. And as well, like for your forearms, like it's quite intense. It will gonna definitely give you like a pretty insane pump. I can recommend you that if you wanna try to have like a good shoulder pump, like, or to build like some pumpkins. It's definitely good, worth to try that. So you can see I'm going for heavier. Obviously I go for heavier. Yeah, I don't really tend to lift super heavy, like I generally believe that if you don't train for certain weights specifically, they're gonna came anyway, because the more consistent you are, you're gonna just build muscle. You're gonna just progress gradually, overly. Even if you don't want to, you're still gonna progress, because when you go towards something, you tend to evolve. Like it's just about, you constantly evolve. And if you stop, or that's the thing, if you stop, you don't stay the same, you actually go backwards. It's not really like when I heard loads of guys, like, I want to maintain, I just want to hit that and maintain. It's not such a really thing. Yeah, you can maintain probably your weight, you can maintain maybe your muscle gains, if you, but to do a maintenance, it means like to give up, which I'm literally the opposite. Like I want to see how further away I can go, what is the maximum, how I can be, how I can look, how much I can change, how much I can make. For me, it's like it's the opposite, you know. I'm like so curious about it. I'm so grateful in the same time about it, because either I have, you know, like different, you know, same as everybody, you know, like different health issues, you know, different like personal issues or something like that. I just tend, you know, like to get better in anything, you know, to have better friendship and relationships, you know, to have better, you know, like relationship with the family, you know, like better career, you know, like as everybody, you know, this is what you want, but it's such a big difference, you know, from what we generally want to what we actually do to take that. And over here, it's obviously including even me, you know, like I can get included into that, you know. I can definitely do much more better, you know. I can definitely improve in so many areas. I don't think there isn't an area where I can say, oh well, I know everything. There isn't. So that's the reason, like, you know, the fact that you can achieve everything, it's so true. Okay, probably I'm gonna do awesome. 2 stages, because as you can see, already so leg pump on the quads. We've seen already like so much evolution and so many skyscrapers and so many big buildings and so many. It's looking good. I don't know about the lighting. Invent all of those. Probably if I came a bit closer. Starting having like some striations. And I can leave you now for another few minutes. Oh yeah, of me much better. You okay, and now we're gonna come back for the full body next time. But yeah, I like it. Okay, so let's see a bit. Probably can't even catch my I can catch everything. Okay, so do it like shoulders are open up nicely. And the hamstrings as well, feeling it. Yeah, we're sitting nice. Beautiful. That's actually beautiful. Happy with it. Definitely. But look at this. Man, honestly, like, didn't even start cutting it and start having already like those striation, which is insane. Like the shoulders, you know, like it's so visible that I train just back and legs now. As my delta is in the shoulder, it kind of like exploded. So my chest has been as well like a bit, it's been alright, you know, like I never really complain about it. So this is much easier, you know, it's very easy to train chest and shoulders compared with legs, you know, like you don't really tend to have like same driven, you know, like to train legs. But and I obviously pretty much finished for a while already. It's still kind of like feeling it, you know, like can't wait to see what damage we can build. Cool. Thank you guys, and guess what? See you next time. If you need any advice, anything like that, or you're curious about, have any questions, just don't hesitate to ask me.